Hello, everyone. My name is Mulundana Machia, as you might well know. I am the current editor of Headspace, and for this particular episode, we have a very specific guest with us for a short interview. It is Mr. Tafuna. He is the public relations officer at Chainama, as well as a social psychologist and a graduate from the Mental Health Law Institute of India. He is here to give us a little perspective on mental health, a more grounded professional perspective to try and clear up the discrepancies that some of you may have. So, hello, Mr. Tafuna.
Hello.
I think we should just jump right into it. For today, we have a very short amount of questions. We just want to get your expert opinion on a few things. So I think to start off, what is the definition of mental health and mental illness? And can you kind of give us a few examples?
Okay, if you look at mental health, it is the well-being of the mind. It implies or it talks about how someone thinks, how someone feels, and how emotional someone is. So it accounts for all those that are associated to the well-being of the mind. However, we don't exclude illness, because there are minor things that come in an individual, like you are disturbed a little bit, you get upset. Those are issues of our daily living. However, if they exceed, maybe for 14 days you are having discrepancies, that means you are developing a mental illness. You need to see a mental health expert. Now, what is mental illness? If you look at mental illness, it's when someone has a disorder. That's when it is something that talks about one having a mental illness. Most of the people mistake mental illness to mental health. Mental health, all of us, we have the right to good mental health, but we don't have the right to good mental illness. So we need to actually look at our own well-being nicely. If you see that you are not sleeping at night for a period of 7 to 14 days, see an expert. That means there is a problem. If you are postponing trips, maybe you want to go into town, you change the style of bathing, you stop bathing, you stop going to the salon. If it is a woman, it takes 14 days, you are not caring for yourself. That means you should check for depression. So a lot of these things are actually issues of mental illness. However, we have the right to good mental health.
Thank you, sir. I think going off of that trend, our follow-up question would be, what are some major misconceptions that people usually have in relation to mental illness?
Well, there are a lot of misconceptions that people have towards mental health. If we go to our society or our community, you find that most of it is associated to traditional things. If one has a mental health problem, it's either he has stolen things from someone and they have bewitched him. Others, they look at mental health as a case from God. So one who has such need to be stigmatized. Others, they look at it as they look at it as if it's just something that is caused by unknown factors. However, there are most of them, like now, the youth that have mental health problems, it is associated to alcohol and drugs. Excessive taking of alcohol, then abuse of drugs, like heroin, cocaine, hashish. Those things are toxic things. They are harmful to our health. So we should take precaution. If one starts taking this, even the behavior changes, even the act, the conduct, you find that it changes. So immediately, those that are taking, if you see that you have such problems, please, we are ready to assist you get out of drugs and alcohol. That's what we are trained for. So don't be scared. You are supposed to come and seek help from a mental health expert. Most of the people stigmatize the institution. The institution is a good thing. It's more or less like at a general hospital like UTH, like Levy University Teaching Hospital. You know, even Chainama Mental Health Hospital is not a place for only the mentally ill. It's a place for all that may want to be cleared of mental health aspects. We also do personality tests. We can do a personality test on you, then you'll be working nicely. You see? So those are the things that
Thank you, sir. And going off of the tangent of the idea of the causes of mental health, would you say that the causes are limited to only drug abuse, or is there a broad spectrum cause for mental illness?
Well, there are so many causes. You can find that some are what we call genetic, the inherent. It moves from family to family. There are some people who have got such type of genes that have got that are transferred from family to family, which actually has got the character of mental illness. Then there are also aspects of trauma. If one has been traumatized so much, can have a mental health problem. We call it psychogenic problems. So those need special attention. Then our lifestyle. Our lifestyle, in fact, alcohol and substances are some that are parts of our lifestyle, because alcoholism, it's an illness of a choice. You can want it or not. You can not drink and be well. You can drink and get ill. So it's actually an illness of the choice. And most of the youth, if I give you the statistics, like now, at least not less than 6 youth between 15 and 30 are being recorded with high toxic drugs intake in our analysis. Then we have also so many, and I'm scared. After the opening of the bars, I don't know what is going to happen, because we recorded a very reduced numbers in the cases of alcohol-related mental illness. But with the opening of the bars, I think we'll wait for 2 to 3 weeks, then we can report better.
All right, sir. And thinking about it from the perspective of the youth and the youth's family, and just generally anybody suffering from a mental illness, how do you think us as a community, people in families, and the people who are afflicted by mental illness should respond to it? Because there's been this heavy stigmatization of it. How do you think is the best response the community should take towards mental illness?
Well, mental illness can affect anyone at any time. All of us, we are potential candidates for mental illness, and let's not look upon those that have got mental health problems. Let's not look upon those families that have people that have mental health problems. Next time it is ourselves. So let's take responsibility. If we see one has a mental health problems, find a way of assisting this person, or find a way of helping this person seek help from professionals. Let's not stigmatize them. Let's not discriminate them. Mental health, mental illness is curable. Most of the people in misconceptions, they say that mental illness is not curable. It is curable. And mental illness is not something that can be transmitted like corona or any other illnesses. It's not. So if I'm close to a person with mental health problems, I'll have a mental health problem unless I fall within that umbrella of the cause of mental illness. That's when I can have it. So let's assist them. Where there's need, let's feed them. We will lose nothing. And after all, most of the people claim to be Christians, but they shun persons with mental health problems. But in the end, they read to say, no, I was sick, you never helped me. Do we know who was sick and you never helped? So those are the things that we should look at when we are looking at persons with mental health problems.
Thank you, sir. I would like to speak in reference to most of the viewers of our channel. They do want help and they have been wanting to help, but they haven't been finding effective means to. What would you advise is the simplest way for somebody to get directly into the chance to help those with mental illnesses?
Well, those that have got mental health, we may not say illnesses or problems, they are challenges. Those that may have mental health challenges, Chainama Hospital is ready to assist, both by phone, by WhatsApp numbers, even by land phones. We are ready to assist such type of people. So don't shun, don't feel ashamed. It is like any other illness. We are there to assist.
Of course, and of course, by the end of this video, there'll be those numbers put forward. I'll make sure that I collect them afterwards from the interview, so that we can get more people actually engaged in the idea of coming to seek help. I think as a final question, it has to do specifically with our current situation. In lieu of the pandemic or the virus that has been going around, how would you say is the best way to cope? Because I'm sure that you found that as people have been isolated, they've been having a few more challenges mentally. How would you say is the best way to cope or to deal with the situation?
Well, yes, the corona pandemic has come as a blow, and each and every person, individuals, families, communities, they are actually struggling with it, both psychologically and physically. Those that have not tested the eve of corona, psychologically they are affected because they have the fear, they have anxiety, they have some of them upon admission they are depressed, and they are suffering a lot of mental health issues that need attention. Please, psychotherapists are there. We know that in the other part of the physical part, that's where I'm saying some of the youths from 15 to 30 have indulged into drugs. The reason was they overstayed, they are not in school, they have no activities, so who is teaching them? They are going to explore. So as they explore, they meet the people taking drugs and they want to test because the child is growing. Now let me sound this warning. A person who is 15, 17, 18, the brains are still developing. So if you tamper with them, you make them be exposed to such type of things, above the age of 21, they are likely to have a major mental problem called schizophrenia. So, schizophrenia is a chronic illness which one will have a problem in himself, or have the family will have a problem, and even the clans to come, they will have a problem, because if one has a chronic problem in the house, even the members of that house have a problem. It is something that is very difficult to care for. And I pity those who have got persons with mental health problems in their homes. They suffer a lot of trauma. They suffer a lot of psychological issues, both from the neighbors, from the community, from even monotony. Coming to the hospital time and again is also a big problem. So it's better you prevent yourself from these issues that may give you mental health problem. So let's observe all the necessary public health aspects in order to prevent ourselves from mental health problem, the way we are preventing ourselves from corona. Corona is real, so let's take responsibility.
Thank you, sir. I just want to ask one more thing. Do you have any last words of encouragement, any ending remarks, anything specific you'd like to point out, maybe a further mention of the kind of help that people can receive?
Well, the only thing is to encourage the youth to take public health precautions, both in mental health, in corona, in any other condition that may affect their mind, they should take precaution. And also, I'm urging the parents to take, special interest in their children. Try to study the children. What are they doing? What are they watching? You know, these things are the things that are bringing a lot of mental health problems in youth, because they are there, they are exploring, going around to know the world. But in the process of knowing the world, they meet things that are good and things that are not good. But if they don't have someone to help them go through them, they end up getting things that are not good for their health. So those are the issues that I can try to add in. Then we are open to receiving those that have problems. You are welcome.
All right, sir. I will make sure that those numbers be posted with the video. I'll make sure I collect them. And as for all of our listeners, the Headspace project is continuously trying to get people who have experience, who are professionals in this area, to get an open platform to speak more about mental health and mental illnesses and challenges with mental health. So if you feel that you need to share, if you feel that you are going through something, if you feel that you need to talk to a professional, there are institutions like Chainama open. The encouragement is that you do not need to deal with these issues alone. I thank Mr. Tafuna for his time. It has been quite enlightening, and I hope that as we go through the Headspace project, more and more people can get the information that they need. Thank you.
Thank you.